There, good morning. So happy Saturday. Goodness. It is bright and early and cold in North Texas. But, you know, I went to bed really late last night and I also drank way too much. With my eldest two children, because my oldest daughter is off to Maui. Her and her fiance are moving to Maui probably this next week. She's taking off, and then he's to follow in January. Second eldest, her fiance is it was his birthday yesterday, so we were doing a birthday celebration, all this good stuff. And I made it to bed around 1:30 in the morning. And I made it to bed with a shitload of alcohol on my system. I had probably like 5 or 6 cocktails, and even though I tried to stay hydrated, it did not work. So I came home, and my littlest, who was almost 3, was still wide awake at like 11:30 last night, close to midnight actually. So I had to snuggle him down, and I thought to myself, there is no way I'm getting up in the morning and I'm going to do that 6 a.m. conscious coffee that I got myself into. But I had my alarm set, and I thought, as soon as it went off at 5:45, I did my little prayer, my little gratitude prayer, and I thanked God for my bedroom not being cold, and I thanked God for waking up to an alarm clock that I actually had the sense to wake up to the alarm clock, but I didn't. I thank God for the opportunity to get on here and share with you guys a really important piece to the manifestation puzzle that I wouldn't have thought about had I not gone to bed at 1:30 in the morning and drank so damn much. So thank you for the lesson on that. It's what my attention is there. Remember that as you come in to just pop say hi, all that good stuff, so that I can, see that you're here. I do see that comment coming in. There we go. But the lesson, the lesson is just do it, even when you don't feel like it. Just do it. Years ago, when this was like 3 years ago, when I was maybe 17, 18 years old, 19, in that range, I had joined a company called Primerica Financial Services, and it was underneath the Travelers Group. But Art Williams used to own, it was A.L. Williams, and they had life insurance and health insurance and all that kind of stuff. And he has this famous speech, and I'm going to go and find it here on YouTube after this and share it to the thread, because I think that everybody needs to watch it. But I heard Art while I was getting coffee this morning, and I heard Art when I was getting up as soon as I hit my gratitudes, and I heard him in my head doing this speech called the Just Do It speech. And he was, a football. He used to be a football coach. Now he's, gosh, like a billionaire. But he was just a football coach that horrible English, everyday Joe. If you met him on the street, you'd be like, there's no way this man has that much money. But his whole philosophy in the speech, what he was trying to get through was, and they called it the Just Do It speech. And it's just do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. But do what? Well, just do it. But do what? Just do it. But I'm tired. Just do it. I don't feel good. Just do it. I don't have enough money. Just do it. My family's not supportive. Just do it. You get where I'm going with this? And he went on in this speech for, I want to say, like 20 minutes after he went through, he pointed out some of the things that I've shared in past mornings. But at the end of it, he was talking about just doing it. So what's Art talking about? About just do it. What am I talking about? Just do it. Yeah, Addison said, posted down here, she's like, way to stay committed. Yes, way to stay committed. That's exactly what Art was talking about. Just do it. Stay committed to you. Stay committed to the process. Keep yourself accountable even when you don't want to be accountable. Keep yourself going and pushing through. And it's not necessarily the do it of action every single time, because our actions, the things that we choose to do, really are just 1%, maybe 2% of how we create. What got me out of bed was my thoughts, my feelings. My thoughts and my feelings were the creators of me kicking my feet out from underneath the covers and sitting up in bed, even though I still feel a little tipsy from too many shots last night with my kids, that I was just like, wow, and I stumbled my butt to the bathroom. It took those actions, but it was my thoughts and my desire to stay committed to myself and to make sure that I did not fall down on this, because I knew that if I did not show up for 6 a.m. conscious coffee with you guys, that in an hour, 2 hours, whenever I finally woke up, that I would actually go, oh man, now I feel like shit. I don't feel proud of myself. I let myself down. I didn't do this. I didn't follow through. And it would just wreck the whole rest of my day. I might have like a dull headache for part of the day because I am tired. And, there's these different physical things going on. But I'm making the choice in this moment. And here's the lesson. You have to make the choice. Everything is choice. You have to make that choice to still just do it. And the just do it again is not necessarily the action of getting up. It's not necessarily the action of, going and committing to exercise or committing to working harder or staying up later or doing anything like that. Whatever those things are that, I've been asking throughout the week for you guys to kind of set the stage tone for manifestation going into 2018. But it's about just doing the right thoughts. I cannot stress that enough. Focus on the energy, not the action. Focus on the energy, not the action. And just keep doing it. And when you're in doubt, still focus on the thought, not the action. If you are, if thoughts that bring about good feelings mean that you are on the right track, thoughts that bring about bad feelings mean that you're on the wrong track. And I talked a little bit about that yesterday and the day before. I think it's kind of been an underlying current probably in all of my stuff, because I can't stress how much, but here you go, is that, when I was kind of repeating Art Williams' Do It speech there, it's, but I don't feel like it. I'm tired, I'm sick, I'm broke. Do it anyway. That means tap into your feelings. At any given moment, you can make a conscious decision to feel good. You can make a conscious decision to turn your feelings, turn your thoughts around. You're the only one that can do that. If you're looking outside yourself to gain happiness, if you're wanting to control people, events, or anything like that, that's all outside. It has nothing to do with how you actually feel. It has nothing to do with how you feel. But what it is that you have to control what's going on in here, because here controls what's going on in our heart space, in what's happening inside of us, the emotion. And if you are not feeling good, like legitimately not feeling good, that's not, contributed to too many shots. It's, or maybe you find yourself with your leg up in a cast and you're in a lot of pain. Maybe you find yourself in a really sticky financial situation, which is causing all the stress, which is causing your body to not feel good. Yes. Maybe you find yourself, with a diagnosis that is real crap, or you just caught a really nasty bug because it's wintertime, right? And the kids brought it home or something like that. There's all these events in life that make us feel like crap initially. But ultimately, we still have a choice. We still have a choice as to how we approach it. We have a choice as to if we are going to push through with positive thought, which will create positive feeling, or if we're going to push through with negative thought, which is going to feed the negative experience and match it more and bring more of that to us. So it really comes down to, do you want happiness? And yesterday I was having a conversation with a friend who's going through some really, really tough times. And goodness, I saw a light going behind me. I think somebody's awake. That or my light is just has a mind, so that's possible too. But I was having this conversation with a friend who's really going through a lot of tough times, and the conversations, but there's a lot of yeah, but I don't have this, yeah, but I don't have that. And I was saying, there's all this stuff that's happened, and I think my light is having its own issues going on over there. But my friend, I was saying, like your whole vessel has been cleared out. You have to clear out the vessel at certain points so that you can expand the vessel, so that you can open up to more blessings, so that you can open up to more good stuff coming in. And we sometimes think that our cups are so full that we can't handle anymore. And then other times we think our cups are not that full, and we are wanting more blessing to come down into our life. But what we don't realize is that our cup's too small for the blessing, right? So we have to dump it out. And my version of it yesterday was, you've now cleared out all the space, and you've been a blank canvas, and been giving that a blank canvas, and now you've got the paint. You are the painter, and take your brushes, take your paint, go paint the picture that you want. And that maybe right now is a really tough time for you to, experience things, but what you would have to do is realize that you really are the painter. You really do have the canvas. You just have to make up your mind as to what you want to paint on that canvas. And ultimately, anything that we are wanting to paint in our life, anything that we are wanting to create in our life, those physical things, those tangible things, the money, the cars, the houses, the relationships, the health, the bodies, the this, the that, you name it. Every single one of those things comes back to one thing, only one thing, and that one thing is happiness. All any of us are ultimately wanting is happiness. So if happiness is what everything comes back to, why not just simply, in moments like for me this morning, right? Focus on happiness. Focus on the feeling of happiness. And the feeling of happiness is going to, if you can tap into that, if you don't know what happiness feels like in that moment, it's okay. That's where you need to have like a playlist of the most upbeat, positive, feel-good songs that you can possibly imagine, and start listening to that. Have allow yourself to maybe being of service in those moments helps you to be happy, go and find yourself able to listen to a friend that's in need. I actually used to, and if she listens to this, she's going to be like, I knew you were doing that. But my one of my oldest friends, she had some struggles when we were young. Hey, my ghost is back and turning on the light there. She had some struggles with friends, and she, had children at a young age. Mother that was sick. She really had some different stresses. And I was going through a very stressful. I had young children early in my 20s. I had 3-4 kids, and man, that weight was just, it wants my attention. But she had 3-4. I had 3-4 kids going early on in my 20s. Money struggles, not happy in my marriage, all this different stuff. And it reached these points, where I wanted to throw the towel in, you could say, right? And just frustration and depression and life is never going to get better, and I don't deserve. And what I discovered was, in those moments, calling my oldest and dearest friend there, calling her up and just sitting on the phone, listening to her chaos, made me feel better. And that was just where I was at. It literally made me feel better to hear her chaos, because my chaos, in my eyes, was not as bad as her chaos in my eyes. So I would be on the phone and she'd be yelling at a kid. She would be arguing with, her mother. She would be telling me about this that happened or that happened, and her frustration and all this stuff. Not that I wanted any bad stuff to happen for her. I love my friend. She's like a sister to me. I wanted only the best for her, as I do now, right? It's just, I wanted those things. But for whatever reason, hearing her chaos put attention on the good that I had. And sometimes when we are really in a shitty spot, going and being of service, whether it is listening to that friend in need, going and helping out at home, going and, reading books to children in the hospital that I can't really leave the hospital. Doing community acts like that often has more to do about us, the givers, than it does about the receivers. And being aware, and it goes back to that we are doing those things because it is sharing, because it is giving, and it makes us feel good. Now, granted, there's a whole caveat here about the ego that I'm not going to go into on this particular live session, but realize that sometimes those things are exactly what you need to do, just because it's moments like that you don't feel like doing it, and that you're really, really frustrated, and that you're really down. But if you just go do it, then it will help you to feel better. It will put a spin on your to kind of get you back into a space to go, wow, my life really is blessed. And that's the space that you've got to get into, because if you start experiencing life from my life is blessed space, even when you're frustrated, even when you're tired, even when you got a little hangover and a little thumping in your head, even when you're sick with a nasty flu bug hanging out the toilet, even when you're fighting with your mate, even when you find out your bank account is in the hole, when your car gets 2 flat tires, when you rear end somebody or get rear ended, when you lose somebody in your life, in whatever way, any of those things can really be destroying to us sometimes. But if we turn around and we focus in on the fact that our lives are blessed, because every single person on this planet, has a blessed life. It's just opening up to the blessings. It's being consciously aware of the blessings, which means that you have to focus in on the blessings. And that also means that you have to just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And when in doubt, do it some more. When you're not feeling good, do it some more. And when you're really depressed and disconnected, do it anyway. And, when you feel like you can't do it anymore, that's exactly when you need to do it more. That's exactly when you need to do it more. You got to really get in there and do it. And remember, it's not the actions. It's not even the words that you speak in that moment. It's about what you're thinking and what that's producing feeling like. And then changing those thoughts, those feelings to positive ones. You have to shift your awareness. You have to shift your awareness. And if you don't shift your awareness, then you're going to see the light increase. You have to shift your awareness. And if you don't shift that awareness, and I cannot stress this one either, it is enough that it's, the whole reason behind me saying conscious coffee is not that, oh, I'm awake at 6 a.m. That's not it. Conscious coffee is about being consciously aware of what you're doing, who you are, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, how you're showing up in your life for you. That's what consciousness is. Consciousness is about being consciously aware of how you are showing up in your life for the most important person in your life, which is you. And really, really making that commitment to yourself to be consciously aware, to apply the consciousness to your thoughts, to your feelings, and stop worrying about the actions. Because if you're focused on your thoughts and your feelings, the actions will just happen naturally. They will happen organically. It cannot go any other way. It is a law of the universe, we could say. It really is. It's just as potent, just as for real as gravity is. If you pay attention to your thoughts and your feelings, and you put all your focus there, and you shift your awareness into that, and then you apply the attention to the feel good, the blessing, the gratitude, the happiness, the joy. Keep your focus on the top of the pyramid of feelings, the top of the pyramid of feelings, all that better stuff. And if you crash and you burn, keep it limited, because you're human. You're probably going to crash and burn. We all do. We all crash and burn. It's being aware that you crashed and burned. So as soon as you become consciously aware of, oh shit, I just got myself stuck in the middle of some really negative charged emotions here, which means that I was thinking some really negative stuff, because I'm now feeling stress. I'm now feeling this. I'm now feeling that. None of it's positive. It's not creating what I want. So there's your awareness. As soon as you come to that, you can make a decision in that moment to stop it. You can make a decision in that moment to move forward and really just let yourself start feeling good. So that, again, find those things that help you to feel good. And I guess I'll give that for today. Write down, grab a journal, and I really encourage pen and paper, because it allows your brain will translate things easier. You will absorb it differently. When we work on our phones and on our computers all the time, we're not really absorbing and changing the pathways in our head as easily as when we are using pen and paper. So you'll find that all successful people out there, the top of the food chain, you could say, do not do their journaling do not do their goal setting on their phones or on their computers. They stay off of electronics for the reason of that they are trying to create new pathways in the head and make those the dominant ones versus what we already have in store. And that's what we're working against is we're working with the neural pathways and that we have dominant negative pathways and we have to create positive pathways. And so take that pen, take that paper, and make sure that today, after this, or while I'm finishing up here in the next couple minutes, to start writing down a list of things that really help you to get into the mood, so that you can say, okay, yeah, this is a really crappy day. That was a really crappy experience. You know, I'm not very happy with this or that. But here's my little playlist, call it, of different things that I can do to start bringing in positive emotion. And I do encourage music has a strong impact on us. So now, what are your top? Create if you have Spotify or any other system on your phone or CDs in your car, whatever you do for music, put together I am positive playlist, and make that 10 to 15 songs. And even if you have to repeat some of the songs, excuse me, go ahead and do it. But those songs need to be ones that you can't help but by song 3, you need to be bebopping to it and singing along, and it just does something to your body, okay? So go to those and just keep playing those until you get into that space of just like, because as soon as you break into song in the car, in your kitchen, in your office, in your shower, wherever it is, and you start feeling that music charge through your body, it will work its magic on your thought process. And be careful here of the words that your songs are singing to you, because remember that, again, the neural pathways, you want the songs to be singing to you the positive messages that you want to create in your life, not the messages that support where you're at in your life in that moment. Okay, so it might be a positive upbeat, but if the song is talking about some really negative stuff and taking control of this and doing that and beating this person, I mean, there's some great music out there that sounds awesome, but has a storyline that is, the lyrics just make you go, when you get to the lyrics, like, wow, that's not good lyrics, okay? So make sure to be lyric picky on this playlist for music. But I do encourage music, obviously. And then also, focus in on start creating the gratitude list. Come up with 50 to 100 things. And yes, 50 to 100 things. Every single one of us, no matter how crappy our situation is, can come up with a list of 50 to 100 things to be grateful for. And you need to keep this handy. You need to keep it close, because on bad days, you need to be able to go in and you need to read what you really are grateful for. Sometimes you might just be grateful that you have, air in your lungs. Other days you might be pissed off that you have air in your lungs. And that's just where you're at. But you might be grateful that you bought better pillows and that the pillows are softer. And even though you might not be happy that you have air in your lungs, at least you have this pillow, because the pillow feels good. The blanket feels good. Start wherever you need to start is the message there. Pick the smallest of things to be grateful for, and then also have some big ticket items in there, that you're also grateful for. But create that list of 50 to 100 things that you are blessed with every single day. And in the process of doing that, you're going to start to feel better. And when you're reading them repeatedly, you are supporting the pathways, the neural pathways to change over to the positive again, and you start to pull yourself out of your rut. Physical activity again. I've been through all of these things. I want you to go back probably, I think it was like 3 conscious coffees ago. That was the one that I'm talking about, getting out of blues and into the positive attitude. And it goes through a whole bunch of things that you can do to bring yourself up. But again, that's, back to just do it. just do it and do it and do it. And taking those physical steps will help you to change the mental chatter that you're having. But you've got to first of all become aware of that mental chatter, and even in the moment of a split second, just become aware of it. And as soon as that happens, don't beat yourself up for having the negativity. Realize that you're human, but pick up everything that you can in that moment, and start moving forward with the thinking and the feeling and these little things that you've done to create this little, toolkit of, this is my positive toolkit, this is my good vibe toolkit, and start doing those things in there so that you can just do it and do it and do it and do it. So I was just looking, I've been writing down quotes over here the last few days just because there's some really good quotes out there, and I just wanted to see if there was one that I wanted to share with you guys on this very thing here. Really just, no one else can think or feel for you. It's you, only you. And that's to just do it. It does not matter what's going on in your life. It doesn't matter who's hurt you, what's been said, or anything. Nobody else can think or feel for you. Just you. And that's where the do it comes in. You got to just start thinking those thoughts and let those develop into the feelings. And if you're having a tough time thinking the thoughts, focus back on the most positive experience that you've had in your lifetime and bring yourself back to that and let that re-anchor into your emotions, into your feelings, and touch on that. Just touch it. And that will help be, that push that you need to change the thoughts as well. So always focus back in on what feels good, and remember that feels good is internal, not external. Has nothing to do with anybody else. It only has to do with us individually, personally, in our own beings at any given moment. So with that, I'm going to tell you guys, happy Saturday. I'm off to go do a sex workshop all on female orgasm. So I'm going to finish up my coffee and I'm actually going to go and take my walk because I'm going to just go do it. Even though I don't feel like it, I'm going to go do it. And by the time I'm done with my hour of power walk, guess what? I'm probably going to come back in this house supercharged, absolutely charged up, feeling great, and will have my body awake and turned on and ready to move forward, because it's the only direction we can ever go is forward. But I'm going to be consciously moving forward with positive sensations in my body. So I encourage you guys to go do the same. And again, you can find me at www.kendalwilliams.com, and I will be here tomorrow, which I promise, as you can see, take it serious, at 6 a.m. for Sunday Conscious Coffee. I would appreciate if anybody makes it all the way through this, because I know that people watch different sections of it here now. If you guys have anything that you would really like to focus in on tomorrow, feel free to pop me a message, private or on here. That's perfectly fine. I encourage a little bit of feedback on that. Please, make comments underneath this video too as to your thoughts, your feelings about things that I said, or how you were just showing up in your life and just doing it, or even just a favorite quote. And I will go find that Art Williams speech for you guys and post it in the comments. So have a amazing Saturday, and I will catch you tomorrow at 6 a.m.